If you don't enjoy this video, blame John Riggs, because this is all his fault. This all started with his amazing single-screen arcade game, Yeah Yeah Beebiss II, that he released. And while I could put Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2 on here, it is the inspiration for this video, but if you have not played it, you absolutely must, because the game is wonderful. It's super difficult, and it's made by a hell of a guy. John is such a wonderful human being. It's excellent. Definitely check out Yeah Yeah Beebiss 2 if you want to play something with 100 levels of escalating challenge. John says the levels don't get harder, but everyone I know who has played it does not believe him. They find him to be a liar because the game is so hard. But it's awesome. If you've ever wondered what would happen when you combine a rabbit, Bomberman, and Dig Dug, well, have I got good news for you, because that's where MURTOP comes into play. This is legitimately one of the most challenging single-screen arcade games I've ever played. Because, I mean, Dig Dug's hard enough, Bomberman's hard enough, but when you stick them together, and you're digging paths to get through the game, to find your way to the enemies so you can blow them up rather than shoot them with your, I guess, inflato gun like Dig Dug had, it really adds a whole lot of complexity to the game. But it's so rewarding when you're able to pull off a move and you're able to get yourself around the corner and blow someone up without yourself getting caught in the explosion. It's super fun. It's a very difficult game, and I'm not a huge Bomberman fan, but when you make it a little bit more adventurous, I guess, like this game is, by adding the digging element into it, and I mean, come on, it's a bunny, everyone loves bunnies. There's just something that really works about this, and it clicks for me. I'm super loving MURTOP. Great game to play on the Switch, and really, really, really challenging. Like, it is super duper hard. Let's stick Wario and Arkanoid together and see what happens. You're gonna get ANTONBALL DELUXE. If you do that, ANTONBALL DELUXE is amazing. First off, there's a bunch of different gameplay options in this. There's different kind of mini games that you can play, but we're gonna talk about the main game mode right now because that's my personal favorite. And it is Arkanoid, just horizontal. So you're going to be playing as Anton, and your job is to jump up and down on the different platforms and knock the ball back at the different bricks that are on the right side of the screen. And you need to make sure that thing doesn't go off the screen, because if you do, you lose a life. You're also going to have to collect different power-ups, and you can use those to shoot out some of the blocks. And the game is just brilliant. It's so much fun and so ridiculously over the top. Like, this feels like a lost Wario title to me. It really does. And the next Anton game that's coming out also feels like a lost Wario title. We'll get to that on a future eShop Hidden Gems down the road. This one, though, absolutely brilliant game. A wonderful spin on brick breakers, which are a personal favorite genre of mine. It's fantastic. You really can't go wrong with any of the recharged games from Atari for this list. But the one I'm picking out and singling out in particular is Black Widow Recharged, because I had never actually played the original. I was a complete newbie to this series, so getting to play this in the recharged form was a treat. This is a single-screen twin-stick shooter, and you need to manipulate around and move yourself around to avoid any of the enemies that are coming at you, and make sure you destroy them first, and try to get bonuses into the center hole of the web. It's something I've experienced a lot of challenge with, but I've had a lot of fun with too, so don't think it's going to be so mind-numbingly frustrating that you're not going to want to play it. And like all of the Recharge titles, it features incredible music, some awesome daily challenges to add a lot of replay value to the game, and it's just a really, really solidly designed title. The look of the game is also really, really impressive by having some really bright neon lights and kind of like just glow effect on everything. It's got some really neat particles that are just happening in the title, and I'm really enjoying it. Winning an award for the most on-the-nose game title on this list is Hoppy Hop, another game starring a rabbit. And it's a Q*bert clone. And it's a really challenging Q*bert clone, and it's a really excellently made Q*bert clone that I have had a ton of fun playing. And I'm actually enjoying this more than I enjoy Q*bert, don't tell anyone. Because I just think this works a little bit better. It's designed a little bit better. There's different things that happen in the game where it feels kind of like a 16-bit evolution of Q*bert. So rather than just jumping on cubes to change the color, there's actually like environments and stuff like that in the game, and different warp pipes that are going to take you all over the place with different enemies. And as you go through, there's going to be puddles that you have to jump in to dry up, then you jump back and you change the color of the block, so it's going to be active for you now. It's basically Q*bert starring a bunny. It's just really fun, although the wolf that shoots you is an absolute ass. I don't like him whatsoever. This game is really fun, though. Hoppy Hop, again, the most on-the-nose title on this list, but definitely something that I've had a lot of fun with and fulfills that itch of needing a new Q*bert game if you're a big fan. Galacticon is a really excellent game. It's a little bit Joust, but it's not exactly Joust. Like, you're not going to be mashing on the button to fly around. You just use your joystick to move your character around the screen, and you're able to actually shoot the bad guys that are going on or going off the screen. And the objective of the game is to collect the little guys that are trying to escape to get to the escape pods that are down on the ground, and you need to set them up for success. So there are going to be certain occasions where you're going to find if you have like 3 blue and 1 red in one escape pod, the blue guys are going to kill the red one because they outnumber him. If they have them in there even, you're not going to get a bonus, but there's not going to be any murder. But if you have them all in as the same suit color, they're going to get along fine, and you're going to get bonus points for having a cohesive system. One of the things I really dig about this is once you get all of the guys into the escape pods, the game shifts from being a horizontal shooter to being a vertical shooter, where you need to go up and try to avoid the different asteroids that are falling on you. It's a really fun title. It's a challenging title. There's that theme again. But it's one that I've had a lot of fun with and one I've gone back to pretty frequently over the last year. And while Yeah Yeah Beebiss II was the one that kind of spurred this entire thing on, DODO was the one that fanned that spark into a fire because, oh my god, this game is incredible and frustrating and wonderful and difficult and perfect in every conceivable way. It's fast and frantic and fun. You are moving through every level, and it could be just as simple as you want to just go through and collect the different donuts so you can get the big donut and move on to the next one. But as you will find as you play the game, the real challenge and the real excitement comes in when you start collecting the flashing donuts in order to complete your multiplier bonus. And the game goes from just completing a level to now chasing the high score. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And every level offers something different than any other level that you've seen before. So there's so much to love about Donut Dodo, one of my favorite games of 2022. I have to thank the immortal John Hancock for introducing this game to me. This is Towerfall, and this one is magnificent. So this might play a little fast and loose with the definition of a single-screen arcade game, but hear me out. So this is 4-player action at its finest, which to me screams arcade action. You are going to be going onto these single stages that have passages that will move from the bottom to the top of the stage. You're going to collect power-ups, you're going to have limited shots, and you're going to have to go and collect your arrow after you shoot it if you miss in order to keep competing in each level. It's a really fun, frantic, fast-paced, and exciting game, and if this was released in an arcade machine, this would absolutely be a quarter muncher and something that so many people would have fun playing. I can see the line of quarters just on the screen right now waiting for people to sign up for it. This game is absolutely brilliant, a wonderful example of what can be done with the arcade action genre while not sticking firmly to a formula that a lot of people have seen. This one's amazing. Thank you to my friend Corey for suggesting this one. This is Tamiku. And Tamiku can kiss my butt because this game is super hard. It is a platformer where your entire objective is to get through the level by popping every single balloon on the screen. And as you go, there are going to be enemies moving about the screen to try to defeat you, and you don't really have a way to fight them. You can just jump up and down through particular parts of the platforms to get to the different balloons. And eventually the enemies are just going to start going a lot faster, which means things are a lot more difficult, which means that the balloon popping values go up, which increases your score. It's a steeplechase for a high score, and it's all about manipulating the maze and moving through the maze correctly to avoid any of the projectiles or any of the enemies moving around. It's a challenging game, and I think that's kind of be the running theme for everything on this list, is that it's a challenging game. You can just accept that I'm going to say that for everything. But it's super cool, and it's really fun, and this is one I hadn't heard of, and when he introduced me to it, I was all over it. This game is awesome. I told you I like Brick Breakers, so I'm putting another one on the list. This is STRIKEY Sisters, and kind of like Towerfall, this might play a little fast and loose with the very definition of what a single-screen arcade game is, but I think it fits. So you have a map, and you have a different screen that you're going to go to for each different point on the map. So rather than it just being a progressive series of stages, you actually kind of get to choose and pick where you want to go. But when you get to that level, you're locked in. And as you play, you're going to be collecting different magic spells and different power-ups that are going to give you different options for the ball you hit, or you're just going to be able to cast a spell that's going to be impacting the enemies and the bricks on screen outside of what your ball is doing. It's really awesome. Like, Strikey Sisters is one of those unsung hidden gems on the Switch and any platform it's appeared on. I know it's on Steam. This is one that I think if you are a fan of Brick Breakers, or you just like games with really creative gameplay, this is definitely one you should check out. I really love Strikey Sisters. This might be one of my top 10 independent games on the Switch, like all told across the board. This is one of my favorites. My latest obsession is ANNALYNN. I love everything about this title. I love that you're able to play as different characters. You can play as ANNALYNN or Anton from ANTONBALL. You have different unlockables to change the colors of your character. You can make the snakes wear hats. There's different levels inspired by different arcade games and different nods to different classic games that you're going to see as you go. And it's super challenging and incredibly fun and wonderfully designed and brilliantly paced that just make it a nearly perfect package. One of the things I really dig about this one, though, beside the fact that I just love the core gameplay of it, is the addition of the speedrunner checks. So this is a game designed for speedrunners to play, and there's actual different ways that you're able to use the options in the game to time yourself, or to run through levels, or to practice to see if you can find those frame jumps that you need to use in order to best your time. ANNALYNN is absolutely brilliant, a beautiful title, and a wonderful experience. If you have not played it, you absolutely must.
There you have it, my friends. I've mentioned on a few eShop hidden gems that I am absolutely loving some single-screen arcade action right now, and this is no different. These are 10 fantastic games. Maybe I stretch the definition of a single-screen arcade game here and there, but I think these are awesome games that you will enjoy. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite single-screen arcade games on the Nintendo Switch. I am always looking out for more. And until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.